And we're live again. Let's set up the filters. There we go. Now we're good. This location I'm still kind of playing with. I may actually change it up again. There's a possibility I may move it upstairs at some point. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. In the meantime. So, this is my second time doing this. I'm not sure how it's going to go. We're going to figure it out together. Get the instructions out. We're going to figure it out together. But generally speaking, hey, Joe. Good evening, Space Noids. Good evening, Joe. We're going to figure it out. I'm just going to kind of restart with what I said last week, which is that, first of all, Joe, welcome. Something tells me, Joe, then you and I are probably going to be quite a bit on the same page on a lot of what I'm going to go into. Maybe not everything, but quite a bit. Let's start with this. This world continues to get nuttier and crazier by the day. And I'm not saying that in a way that I think it's like, oh, okay, well, so it is. I'm saying that because I feel like we have crossed lines. And a lot of those lines are things that go right at me the wrong way. I feel like my religion is attacked. Boy, I tried as hell today, installed all appliances. And hold it, you installed appliances solo? Dude, that's nuts. Dude, anything, like when we do televisions, it's like if it's over a certain size, it gets wall mounted, it's always two guys. Never one. Appliances, one person? That's stupid. Joe, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But I think it's important that people understand that I genuinely believe that my religion is being attacked. My moral code is being attacked. What my parents brought me up to believe is being attacked. The government that I honored for so long is under attack by itself. And I'm fucking upset. I guess I try to read quite a bit and understand what's going on in the world. And a lot of what I'm seeing right now is this has everything to do with, and this isn't, it's funny. I don't know that this is purely about wealthy people wanting to be wealthy, Christians trying to be more Christian or create more of a Christian country. Any whites. This is purely about power. This is about power. So people are using our government for power. Remember, these are times where this is a test of our morals. Absolutely, Joe. 100%. And it's time to stand for it, And this is my little way of doing it. And this is not, I'm hoping won't be the only way, but this is my little way of doing it. So I think we have a religion that's out there that is starting to basically put together, they're not trying to create a more Christian world. They're trying to create a power grab. We've got a government that has absolutely no concern for what's good for its population and a constitution. It's 100% based on what's in it for me. What can I get out of this thing? I'm in charge here. What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do for me? If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Movie, sucker punch. Yeah, exactly. 100% Joe. And that's where we are right now. That's exactly where we are right now. Yep. And I'm kind of I'm angry, and this is why I'm doing this on a Thursday rather than doing it on my usual morning live stream, because I know that, and I'm gonna again, this is the time where I can kind of unload a little bit. I know I upset the sensibilities of some people who don't want to, oh, don't go down the politics side. And to some degree, they're right. I don't want to do it in the morning, but I also have a conviction that my parents, the people around me, brought me up in, um, a code that I believe very strongly in. I'm married to a very, very strong, uh, you know, uh, powerful woman, and she has taught me quite a bit. My kids have taught me quite a bit. And I really believe that it is time for us, for me, I've got to be able to say something. I have to be able to say something. So, anyway, like I said, I'm angry. And I'm trying to not be angry. I'm trying to actually use language that is less angry and maybe more, um, not necessarily conversational, but maybe able to allow me to get through some of this and hopefully have people understand why it is that this bothers me so much. A couple nights ago, during the Republican National Convention, whatever it was, the Republicans had this thing. Trump goes up there and says, all, they're kissing my ass. They're gonna kiss my ass. And I, as soon as I heard those words, maybe these conversations can be done over a punching bag. As soon as I heard those words, I instantly went back to my parents and thought about the humility that my father brought. He was a strong person. He did a lot for people, but he he was a humble person. And my parents never went out of their way to show, hey, look how awesome I am. Come over here and kiss my ass. Never. So when I hear that from a leader, I think two things. One, I think of the offense that my parents would have over hearing that, and therefore my own personal offense to it, because of how I was brought up. But also, I'm thinking to myself, if I were a person receiving that comment, and I would challenge anybody who hears this, if somebody came up to you and just said, "Yo, kiss my ass," I think most people would be offended by it. However, we're living in a world right now where there's a lot of people who are like, "Fuck yeah, that's awesome." So, one, from a political perspective, I think that's idiotic. And two, from a moral, spiritual perspective, it I don't even know what to say. It's like, this is not the belief that I was brought up in, the way of being a good, whether a good Christian soldier, okay, a good Christian person. It's not the right way. And then when you have all these fundamentalists, these evangelicals, this Christian right, these nationalists, and they're sitting there and saying, yeah, this is good. And they're seeing people being deported and saying, yeah, this is good. And they're seeing people's economics getting destroyed and saying, yeah, fuck yeah, this is good. It's like, you're on the wrong side. Sorry. I don't know what fucking Jesus you were brought up on. It ain't the one I was brought up on. One I was brought up on was a person who brought forward I would say, if you're not humble in practice, the world will make you humble. And Joe, I believe that is going to happen. Yeah. Um, I yeah, it's good point, Joe. Um, anyway, I do not subscribe to any belief. I have a hard time subscribing to a belief. And this is why I guess I'm doing this, is because if we think about, you know, the humility that was brought up, you know, that again, sorry guys, I guess this is sort of a new form for me, and I'm trying to get these thoughts across, and I'm learning how to get my thoughts across. In my spiritual belief, we were taught to help out those who need the most help, and that was something that my parents exemplified. We were taught to, you know, we're shown that, you know, you get slapped, you turn the other cheek. We're shown that if somebody is in need, you help them. It doesn't say anything about if they're an American citizen. It doesn't say if they're a Christian and of the right type of Christian. It doesn't say anything about your skin color, where you live, whatever. It says you do right by them. You don't walk by them. So when we see people who espouse a certain faith that says, you know what, fuck them, send them back where they came from, fuck them, they don't need due process, and they then go to their churches on Sunday, I say, what the fuck is wrong with you? What fucking Christ are you believing in? Because that is not the Christ that I was brought up on. That is not the way I was brought up. So if we're doing this, turning Jesus into a hypermasculine piece of shit, that's not my religion. In many ways, I would look at that level of faith. That is not Christianity. That is help like no one is looking. Joe, 100%. If that is the Christ that you believe in, that hyper-masculine, gun-toting, he would send all those people back, you know, we need all this stuff to happen. If that's the one you believe, that is not Christianity. You can call yourself anything you want. That is not Christianity. That is basically, we're in the process right now between everything that's going on in the world. Everybody's making power grabs. This is what this is. This is a faith that has decided it's going to go out there and power grab. You are offending my sensibilities. You've been offending me since Roe v. Wade. You've been offending me since your gay rights shit. All this. You've been offending me for the longest time. And because of that, I'm going to start trying to get power back. And this has been a big power grab. Christ went on the cross was actually Michelangelo's gay lover portrait. That is true. Very true, Joe. Oh, if only. But see, this is why they're changing the imagery of Christ. We don't believe in that wimpy, skinny Christ anymore. The one that's, you know, that's like that. We believe in that macho, He-Man, cut jaw. You know, got those muscles. He's ready to fucking go to town on anybody he doesn't like. That's the Christ that they believe in, and that's not the Christ that I was brought up on. And because of that, and I'm going to just say it, the Christian nationalists, the oligarchs, all of these people, everybody is making these power moves. And these power moves are all coalescing around I take it back. I keep wanting to call him a lunatic or an idiot, and he's not. The guy in the office of the president who is trying to bring all these people together because it helps him. It's a transactional relationship that helps him. He's part of that. Hey, you really think that Trump's a Christian? I mean, do you really think that? No. He doesn't give two fucks about Christianity as long as it helps him. And if you help me, oh fuck yeah, I'll take care of you. So, Buddy Christ is my Christ. Buddy Christ is my Christ. Exactly. Mr. Cheeto, the used government salesman. Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what it is, Joe, right? He's basically just doing he is doing all of this. He is absolutely, this is why I don't call him an idiot. He is a phenomenally good salesperson. He could literally sell ice to an Eskimo, right? He could sell ice to an Eskimo. He can do it. If you observe his use of language, look at when he has people. He's got people around him, kind of like building his story. He may come across like an idiot. He's no fool. He is no fool. He is remarkably dangerous, and he's dangerous because he is siding up with a lot of other dangerous people who are creating a lot of problems for us. All right, so let's see if I can at least get a couple parts put together. How's that? So it's not going to be purely George just going on a tirade here. He has hype guys. He has people who sit there and just will bend the knee to whatever he thinks. It was funny. I heard something earlier today that one day he'll come up and just say, we're going to do tariffs. Yeah, tariffs are great. Tariffs are the best because we need to do tariffs so we can bring business in. The next day, I'm going to pull back on the tariffs. Yeah, pulling back on the tariffs is great. We need to get the economy moving again. We got to get the stock market back up. And then the next day, now we're going to put those tariffs back. Yeah. Tariffs are great. They hype him so much. They sit there, instead of saying to him, and the difference between the first and the second term, right? In the first term, there were people who were saying, dude, slow it down. Okay, let's pull it back. This term, look at the fucking morons. Now they are morons. He's got working for him. But he's using them and playing them to his advantage. Playing them to his advantage. All right, let's get, where are we? A19, A20. So we're working, by the way, in case anybody is interested in not just hearing me blither, I am working on the dendrobium, but I'm only working on the figure. The dendrobium itself will be worked on Sundays, except this Sunday. It seems like I keep putting it off, but this Sunday I'm going to be up in Maine. I'll be working on another model. Anyway. I totally agree with you, my good sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And frankly, I'm not doing this to try to get, people to necessarily agree with me, though. It's good to hear that there are other people out there who are also seeing a lot of this chaos. And the other thing is, I don't want it to be about, let's just sit there and have a big bitch session. It has to be, okay, so now we know what the problem is. What are we going to do about it, right? And ultimately, this is kind of like one of my venues for doing this is to be able to vent a little bit, but also to get myself jazzed up, get other people jazzed up, and honestly see that we are in a really, really, really bad place. We're in a really bad place. Vote in the midterms. Dude, absolutely. Not just in the midterms. You got local elections, vote in your local elections. You got state elections, special elections, vote in those. You got the midterms coming up, vote in those, 100%. Doctor Who, what, where? By the way, great name. I love that. My name is George. Please feel free to call me George. Sir was my dad. Even though my dad this year would have turned 104. And I'll be turning 60, but still. Vote in the middle. Vote the... Yes, exactly. So, go out there and vote. Absolutely. Make your vote count. We can't continue to do this. And I'm going to toss this out, and I kind of hinted at this the last week. This is another part of both my moral code and the history that I was brought up in. So, my wife and I had a conversation recently about, so we know of all these deportations that are going on, right? All these fucking heinous deportations. And I said, I heard something on by a guy who covers fascist stuff, and he's an anti-fascist. He's like, someday this government is going to say Antifa are are fascists. They're going to be labeled as an international terrorist organization. Okay, Antifa is going to be labeled. Now suddenly, given what's going on, now we can take American citizens without due process and send them away. Why? Because they're terrorists. They may have citizenship, but they're international terrorists. They just happen to be American citizens. Send them down to El Salvador. And I told this to my wife, and she's like, that can't happen. And I looked at her with my eyes must have just like popped right out of my head. And I said, are you kidding me? What makes you think that can't happen? And my wife's a remarkably smart person, but she kind of like hesitated a little bit and came back with, well, you just can't because they're laws. And it's like, if you don't adhere to the laws, if you don't give two shits about the law, fuck the Constitution, fuck your citizenship, guess what? You're getting deported. Because you are labeled an enemy combatant. You are labeled an international terrorist. But you're an American citizen. Doesn't matter. Get them out of this country. So when I hear about, besides the spiritual side of me saying how criminal it is to see this happen, but then to also, from the historian part of me, the guy who studied a little bit of history, when I see all these things happening, it's this is just a prelude to being able to do martial law. He's reopened Gitmo as well. Yeah, what a surprise, right? What a surprise. And guess what? It's not going to be populated with, all those ISIS people, all those, Taliban supporters, all those guys who are supporting, bin Laden and all the rest of them. It's going to be all the people he doesn't like. Okay? All the people he doesn't like. There's also supposed to be moral decorum with public office jobs. Sad that it's not brought up. Absolutely. The other part is just like Joe, it's also like all these roles, these people that are in these positions and how they just gaslight the fuck out of everything, right? Gaslighting, well, he's trying to do his job, and these Marxist socialist judges that are trying to stop him, that's just criminal. They should be impeached. It's like, again, do you not understand the Constitution? No, you don't. Okay, that's fine. Can you adhere to the Constitution? No? Well, then fuck you. Now it's going to be, if you're going to try for an insurrection, there will be fighting back. There will be fighting back. In so many different ways. I was, last weekend, I guess, with all the marches and protests and everything like that, I really hope that some of those messages got out to people, to the administration. They'll just be like, you know what? Maybe we should slow this down a little bit. Now, I'm not optimistic of that because I think Mr. Narcissism won't be able to do that. He can't. It's not in his nature. He and his administration, his puppets basically are 100% into, doubling down. You've got a losing hand. You're going to double down. Double down. In any case, I was having a similar conversation with my boss last week. And I told him straight up, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm dead wrong when I say we're going to declare martial law and citizens are going to get jailed with no due process. He's like, no, it's not going to happen. I said, I hope I'm wrong. What are you putting together? Yes, I am working on the dendrobium. And specifically right now, I'm working on the GPO3 itself. I'm working on the second leg. I've got the first leg done last week. I'm not sure I'm going to get the second one done this week. We'll see. So what I try to do is I'm trying to actually do this and still have a forum to be able to just kind of talk a little bit and that kind of thing. I do this every morning, but I don't do this political stuff nearly as much in the morning because most people don't like it. It's actually from Gundam. It is from Gundam. This is from the Gundam series 0083 Stardust Memory. And this, just so you know, the robot's probably about this tall. The rest of the model is, I think, almost 3 feet tall, 3 feet long. It's massive. It is massive. D11, D12. So I'm primarily a scale modeler who just kind of does this because, I do the live stream. I started it when it was right around COVID time. And the reason I did that was just to stay connected with people, and I still do that every morning. I'm doing it for now over 5 years. Started on Instagram, just transitioned over to YouTube. There's another one. Water? No. Oh, dude. No way. Joe, if I coffee at 7:30, oh my God. It's having a miserable time. I'd be in a bad place. Gee, why is it like 1:30 and I can't fall asleep? Oh yeah. My movie posters up there. I also have Seven Samurai and Star Wars. Yeah. A few of my favorites are up there. Always coffee. Joe, I wish I could do coffee on in the evening. Sometimes I do when it's like I'm going to be driving or staying up late or anything like that, but not tonight. Always coffee. Sorry, I'm just going to just do that. Anyway. Let's see. That was my daughter who just tried calling me. Let's see what happens with that. Hey, Damien. Welcome back. Hey, it's dinner time. See you in a few. Sounds good, Nick. Sounds good. Nice street French press on a late summer night. I can see that. Like, if I didn't have to, like, even though I'm not working tomorrow, I got to be up early tomorrow, so we're going to have that big gun looking one. Yeah, I'm working on the robot that fits inside. Yes. Yes. I got one of the legs done. I'm working on the other leg last week, and I'm working on the other leg now. Yep. All right, so it doesn't seem like it's critical. Like I said, my daughter just tried calling. It's like, all right, she knows I'm live streaming. She's like, yeah, no worries. How does it look? I cannot tell. Yeah, I'll show you the leg right now. Actually, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like once again. So this is the manual. That's what the robot itself looks like. That's what the GP03, the Stamen, looks like. And then that whole thing basically is just the armor that goes with it. Oh, 22nd of April till 28th. I took off work. Yay, nice. I think I did the same thing, Joe. I might be off that week as well. Did that or the previous week? I can't remember. It's one of those two. Had to quickly take some time off. The gun, I haven't even gotten to the gun part. The gun is like part of the front part of this thing. You can actually see it. That's like, and it goes way over here. Did I actually finish photos of it? Yeah, there you go. That's probably a better view of the whole thing. In right leg. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 robots in a tub. Exactly. And a model kit and right leg. Hey, when joints break, the only good thing about it, if it's plastic, you can always fix it. Yeah, I need some time off. Yeah, I don't blame you, Joe. Take the time when you can. In any case, so I'm working on this model. and I'll be kind of just going into. I kind of unloaded already, so at this point, I kind of feel like I'm taking a little break. Maybe I don't need to just like completely go all ape shit and stuff. Not that it takes much not to, right? I mean, it's a. I try to. I take it back. It was Robert. Boss is 5 months. What was Robert? Sorry, I must have missed something, Damien. I apologize. Boss is 5 months pregnant. I had her watch me throw a fridge in the house today. Did she at least say thanks? Dude, that's another thing. She's like, I can help. I was like, yeah, help, call 911 if I need it. Yeah, exactly. At least she volunteered. That's nice. Sounds like you guys got a pretty okay relationship, Joe. Yeah. Another fun part. Oh, the rubber dinghy, the ball joint. Oh, you broke the ball joint. Um, do you have like any spare parts or anything like that? I built enough of these things. I just have like a massive amount of spare parts, so hopefully find something. And if not, I'll just scratch build something. Maybe you can repair it that way. That's another thing about like what's going on that's kind of like insanely crazy right now. You know, we have somebody. It's the mindset of people who don't understand that um, you've got a person in power who really doesn't like you. I mean, I know that there's a lot of his followers who are. It's a cult. I mean, let's be honest. It's a fucking cult, and all these people are like, hell no, hell no. Oh, that's too bad. You know, got all these guys out there who are like, oh, he's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. It's like, yeah, he's got a plan. He's got a plan to fuck you over. That's the thing. I think that I'm like why it's such a cult. Because if you take a look for just one moment, let's see, 15 and 16, yes. Yeah, 3D printing, that's a good one. Oh, me and my new boss is great. She respects my ideas and decisions, so that works. Oh, it's good when you have those relationships, Joe. That's fantastic. But but he doesn't give a fuck about us. I mean, he makes these pretenses to care about employees. However, and then we'll get to some more of the lies in just a little bit. But he makes pretenses that he cares about the American worker. He doesn't give a fuck about the American worker. He has said he will find ways of screwing people, especially like if oh you know overtime. Yeah, if you need overtime or whatever, oh absolutely, yeah, I'll find somebody else. I'll replace that person. And at the same time, he made promises, and this is the thing I think it's also kind of important to remember. He made promises to the American public that I will end the war in Ukraine overnight. I will instantly make the economy better. I'm going to do all of these things overnight. He lied. I went to school right there. Oh, what's a banana peel right? Oh, what I missed banana peel. I slipped it off my butt cheeks. Oh, that sounds like it hurt. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Nice. But he lied. And he lied just to get into office. And now we're seeing the reality and the truth of it, which is that he doesn't give a shit about people. He said that he was going to, eliminate tax on tips and all this other stuff. He's made a lot of changes. I don't remember seeing that one come across. You know, he said he's going to, you know, stop tax on overtime and stuff like that. Some additional benefits. He's done a whole lot, but he hasn't done that because to him it's just a matter of making promises that he can't keep. That's why he hates Obamacare, because it gives employee insurance within 60 days instead of 90, which makes it harder for employers to fire. Oh my God, we're actually doing something right for the people. And this is why it's so shocking when you've got people who even now are still backing him. Now, I understand the concept of a cult, that once you're in, you've already he's made it so much about him that if you challenge him, you're challenging the person, and they don't like that. Well, I voted for this guy, and you're telling me that I'm an asshole. Again, it comes back to that kiss my ass comment. On the flip side, when we go out after these people in a very harsh and negative way, it's just making them say, "Yeah, I know I'm hurting, but I don't need these lefties and all these other people telling me, you know, I did wrong, and shame on me for my mistake. F you." And I understand that and respect that. This is why, I always look at it as, you know, people are gonna make mistakes. What do you call if there's a Karen going into her car? A carrot car. Nice. Nice. Obama did that because when you're on social health care and get a job, you lose it immediately. So 3 months, no insurance was killing people. Yeah. But it doesn't matter as long as the company was profitable, Joe. I mean, come on. Joe, isn't it worth? I'm back. What are we talking? Really? We're talking about the, I think, people who buy into the cult of Trump. And the mistake that I think those on the other side make when they say, "See, we told you, see, we told you," as opposed to saying, "Oh, I'm glad you figured it out." Because when you tell somebody, "See, we told you were wrong, you're such an idiot," all that does is it just continues to have them embrace the lunacy that they're experiencing. My boss's boss school toilet needed to be platinum. Exactly. I've actually heard stories like that, by the way. Yeah, I had to let go of a couple people because I needed to afford to get my better car. It's like, oh, okay, great. But the I wish that, and I think people are starting to see it. He sits there and sweet talks everybody, but I think the truth is coming out where people are starting to see that he is not doing any of this for us. I truly wish I believed the Angry American Greek show. Exactly, Joe. I truly wish I could say that, he's doing something for us. Like for the average American, he's not. His crashing the economy was so that the oligarchs can go out there and buy stocks at a cheaper rate. Didn't do it for us because he's basically tanked my 401k by, I think the last I looked, it's got to be somewhere between 10 and 15% in a matter of 2 weeks. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about workers. He doesn't care about anything outside of what'll make him money. He's doing something, showing us what not to do in the bandit house. Yep. It's kind of what it feels like. We're in the house of the bandit. All right, let's see. We need part D10. D. Where's D? Runner D. D. There we go. There it is. Be right back. Sounds good, Joe. We'll be here. I truly wish. Look, people make mistakes. I think the guy we had in office last time, he made a lot of mistakes. He did some wrong. I don't think he did it out of malice. I don't think he did it out of a lack of care for the average person. The guy who's in office now and the people around him couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Is this the side of you? Yeah, this is the side you get to see me now. I'm in the theater, but I'm flipping the thing over. I may change this location, Nick. I may actually bring it upstairs. I haven't decided yet. It depends on like if I usually do things downstairs because other people are upstairs and I just don't want to disturb or anything like that. Particularly in the mornings, I just can't do that. But we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. I may change it up, but right now, yeah, this is the angle you're getting. What's funny is having lived through a number of even remembering back to I've never seen this side of you other than in person. I know. Which side do you like better? This? 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 Oh man. Even when Bush was in office, at least I genuinely believe he made bad decisions, but I think they came out of a place of moral certitude. I think like he genuinely felt like I'm genuinely trying to do this to help people. Even though as misguided as he was, misguided. I don't believe it was done out of malice. The guy who's in office now, oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. This is malice. This is all about enriching oneself. At the expense of others. Junior. Senior was actually a moderate, which is interesting. Just he just wasn't prepped for what he needed to do. I don't have as much experience with his administration, but he said some really stupid things, and then just couldn't contain it. Whereas Junior, again, I honestly believe his heart was in the right place. He had people around him who were destructive, and I think he made some very poor decisions. Very poor. And we're paying for him. We're still paying for him. I also think that we're bringing in, he has also been very instrumental. He was instrumental in helping. Hey, I believe, look, faith is important. Don't turn our government into a theocracy. And they're all working towards doing that. D17, D20. D. There we go. But I will grant, and this is another good example, I'll grant Bush, again, I don't agree with it. I think he was once again misguided in trying to, he's helping out religion, Christian religion, to try to make it, to appease a certain group of people. But I think he genuinely believed. Guys, I apologize. Give me a second here. I may jump off. I'll be right back. All right. Goodbye. I'm back. Hopefully everybody. I'm not sure if anybody heard that conversation with my daughter, but if you did, I guess she was doing roller derby, but it was canceled tonight. Wait, I should turn this way. You probably don't want. You want to see more of what I'm working on, I'm assuming, than seeing me. What was a terrible sound? Zoe, is that you? I think somebody's home. Oh, you're working on something. Oh yeah, dude. I'm not just blithering about the lunacy of the world. I'm working on a model too. Just happen to be spending more time blithering. My phone was making noise. Interesting. Anyway, I just told her it's like, yeah, she's like, what they call it, roller derby got canceled tonight, so she's coming home. It's like, great. So after the live stream, I'll probably just go upstairs and just, spend the evening with her. In any case, like I was saying before that call came through, I think with Bush, I think he had a philosophical reason for doing stuff. He had a philosophical reason for doing stuff. Not just a political reason. His religion, I think, kind of dictated certain things. Right or wrong, I think it's wrong, but I think he had a reason. Same show, different topic, basically. But Trump is not that. Trump will use religion. He will use Christianity. He will use anything as long as it benefits him. There we go. He will do anything that benefits him, even if he's transactional. What's in it for me? A guy who basically says to the world, kiss my ass. You're all begging to come back to me. Kiss my ass. And what's really, really unfortunate is I don't think he's wrong in some of the things that he's saying. Hey, let's try to find ways of bringing jobs back to America. Let's find ways of doing, some of this stuff, balancing out this stuff. But this hammerhead approach to doing it is straight up chaos. And then if you think that anybody's going to trust you down the road, absolutely not. If you turn to me, and I'll I'm getting close to the end here, but if you turn to me and said, you know what, go fuck yourself, George, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself. You're an asshole. You suck. You're the worst. You're a jerk. You kept on doing that. After a while, and then you say, hey, but let's talk, let's negotiate. I'd be really, really skeptical. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure I want to have those conversations. Thanks very much. I'm going to head the other way. And that's kind of what he's doing. You can't do the things that you've done to Canada, to the European Union, to China, and expect them to willingly come back. But for him, again, this is all about a power trip. It's 100% a power trip. This is all about what's in it for me, and I want you to suck up to me. And how dare you use some of the language that you have with some of these people? The offense of calling, Canada our 51st state. Saying that they're the worst, not understanding the relationship we have with Canada, calling the premier of the country, calling them a Governor Trudeau. Really? again. It's what it shows again. And this is why it's such a struggle for me when you have when you see how he's treating people, and you understand the where my own personal background, where I come from, how I feel about about my ethics, my religion, and I hear this stuff, and it's just absolutely just the most inflammatory thing ever. And it's just wrong. It's just like, I just can't see how you can treat people like that. And I will say this: if you treat people in this despicable way, how do you expect them to come back to you and say, let's be partners again? If you, classic example, you have an extramarital affair, and you apologize to your wife and everything like that, and you have it again, and then she decides to leave you, and you go, what the fuck are you leaving me for? And that's, you can only abuse somebody for so long before they finally just say, I'm kind of done. And he is so remarkably abusive. Sorry, Damien. Welcome back, Damien. Welcome back. He's abusive. Got 10 minutes before I jump off. I'd like to see if I can get another leg done. Might be able to before I leave. Just like I said earlier, when I started this whole thing today, I was just saying how much it's got put on baby duty. Okay, I'll try to be a little bit more kind with my language. What did you have for dinner? Nothing yet. I'm gonna have dinner after I'm done here. I will have some dinner. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have yet. I might just have a big honkin' salad. We'll see. As I was saying earlier about just how I was brought up, I have there are things that I believe in. It's the way my parents brought me up. It's the way my extended family brought me up. It's the way my community brought me up. You should have oxtails. I don't do red meat and red meat products, so yeah. Mavis said hi. Hi, Mavis! Yeah, I will definitely keep my language at a better point right now. But I will, again, continue to just say how much I love it. I hope someday to meet your family, Nick. I really do. I genuinely do. I haven't met you. Now I'd like to meet your family. But given how I was brought up, the community I was brought up in, I went to a Catholic high school. I'd like to think at that time things were a little bit saner than they are now. I was brought up Greek Orthodox, that kind of thing. I'd like to think that I was brought up in the right way. And when I see these things that I'm seeing, and they're just like, and you scratch your head and you say, this is not right. It is not right. That's it. My dad says hi. Hi, Dad. How's Dad doing? C9, C10. Here we go. So just sometimes you got to call out what's wrong in the world, and you have to let your convictions come through. And part of my conviction, as I said earlier, is I was brought up that you do right by people. What are you working on? I am working on that guy. The GP03 from the Dendrobium, Nick. This is probably going to be the thing I'll work on Thursdays. thing you're going to work on Thursdays. So as I start to wind down a little bit here, I know that especially if anybody watches the beginning of this thing, I certainly started getting a lot more fiery. And a lot of it, again, is because it wears on me, on my soul, it wears on my heart, and I needed to say something. So you were building a leg, so threw me off. Yeah, it's the leg of the GPO3. I'm working on the robot part of it. The actual the big dendrobium part, that's going to be on Sundays, except this Sunday or this weekend because I'm going to be in Maine. But I hope that people understand that I'm saying a lot of this stuff because of my belief in the goodness of humanity. And when I see this level of evil, I think my parents would be infuriated with me if I didn't say something. Because they're like, we brought you up better than this. Yeah, you did. I will say this thing is going to require, when it comes to full finish, like those pistons there. Let's raise this thing up. I would probably end up replacing those pistons, doing something better with those. That's kind of weak. 1, 2. All right, we are going to get this leg done before I take off. Will it go full finish? Not anytime soon, Nick. Not anytime soon. This is too monstrous a project, and I gotta come up with a plan for it. Even just the basic assembly is just so rough that by the time, just the amount of gluing and sanding, and I know how much you love watching me sand, but the amount of gluing and sanding, I don't think it's something I want to tackle right now. I've got enough other projects. I do need to find a project that maybe isn't just between that little tank, the plane that I'm working on now, the previous plane. It's like I need to find something that's a little bit. Who's throwing? I hope you're not throwing up. Your dad's throwing up? Oh my. Is he sick? I'm very sorry to hear that, Damon. I hope he feels better soon. That's too bad. That's really not good. D29. ABC. It's got to be here. As soon as I'm done with getting the leg put together, I'm going to call it a show. And then I'll be back on tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning, I will kind of do a little recap of the day, including a stop at a hobby shop. And I think I might have found something. Poor dad. D27, 28, there it is, 29. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Let's get this thing done. Like you stopped at this hobby shop today? Like I stopped at this hobby shop today. And in fact, it was actually a hobby shop that's very close to Mike. Didn't get a chance to meet up with them, but yes. Yeah, I'll regale on that tomorrow. I had the day off today because I took my daughter down to Connecticut for a college visit. And since I dropped her off for a few hours, I had time to kill. So I went to a hobby shop and got some Indian food, and life was good. Oh, wow, way out there. Nah, it's not that far, Nick. Remember, it only feels far, but you're from Texas. It's not that far. Okay, we got that. Let's get this thing sanded. Connecticut isn't that bad. The drive was like an hour and a half. But anyway, I'll fill you guys in tomorrow on the on what was acquired. Okay, we're almost done here. Just want to get this leg put together, and then, like I said, we're calling it done for the day. There we go. Bang. Bang. Yes, correct. I think. Sure, looks good. Do you have pets? Yes, I do. Would you like one? Got 4 cats. All right. Other leg is done. So with that, I'm not calling it a session. We'll go from there. Put all these runners back in the box with the rest of the dendrobium. I'll leave the legs here. Put all my stuff here. And with that, we're done. So, second Thursday session wraps up. This is not the cat giveaway show. Why? I'll box it up and send it down with some stuff. How's that, Nick? 10 cats. No, thank you. Later, Nick. Have a good one, brother. Appreciate you being in here tonight. Anyway, so everybody, thanks for hearing me out. Like I said, this is not this is not the daily show. This is definitely a lot more involved. This is a lot more of what's coming from in here. A lot more of what's in here deep coming through. I guess it depends what else is in the box. So, guys, go out there and do good. It really is a nutty world. It's a crazy world. Go out there and make it better. Brighten somebody's day. Help somebody. Don't hurt people. Do good by people. Don't make their lives worse. Try to do something that will benefit somebody, not take away something from somebody. Don't rob people of their humanity. Okay? With that, I'll be back on next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. again, to continue this OSG Unleashed thing. But every morning, 6 a.m., I'm doing a tame version. Okay? A lot more family-friendly version than this. But guys, go out there, do good, enjoy as much as you possibly can. I love you all, and I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.